Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. If you can believe it, it has been 15 years since I released my first video on YouTube, June 25th, 2010. It's kind of shocking, to be honest. So much in my life has changed, not the least of which is that I graduated high school, which is great. I went on to go and graduate college. I've gotten married. I have a house now. I have a child of my own. There is so much to unpack, but in today's video, we're really going to look back on those humble beginnings, share why I started a YouTube channel to begin with, why I named my channel Ari Lewis 2011. We're going to talk about where the channel's at, where it's going, some video ideas I have kind of in the pipeline and coming soon that I'm very excited about. And then at the tail end of the video, we are going to be doing kind of a montage to celebrate a lot of the people I've met along the way. Will also kind of just take you along my journey. My first video I recorded in my dad's house back in 2010. I recorded videos in my college dorm room. I recorded videos in an apartment when I was on my first internship when I was in college. Each of the apartments I've lived in and now my house. So it's going to be a journey. It should be a lot of fun. And I'm really excited to take you along this journey celebrating 15 years on YouTube. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now, a little bit of an editor's note. I'm interjecting this here after I've already recorded the video. I also want this to be an opportunity to do a Q&A video. So whether you want to ask me a question about the past 15 years, recording videos on YouTube, my podcasting journey, whatever it is, leave me a comment down below and ask me any question. I obviously have the right to not answer that question in a future video, but I think it'd be really fun. I haven't done this probably in 10 years or more. Leave me a comment down below, ask a question, and in a future video here in the next couple weeks, I'll get behind the camera and the mic again and answer all of your questions. All right, now back to the video. Now, I first think it's kind of important to acknowledge where I was at in my life in the summer of 2010. This was the summer going into my senior year of high school, so naturally, I was thinking about college, applying, visiting campuses, just trying to figure out that next chapter of my life. And similarly, around this stage, right, it's kind of that season of inevitability that you're probably going to part ways with a lot of your childhood, close friends, because you're just kind of going down separate paths. You're taking different journeys. Some people go to college, some people might not. And a lot of people around me, my friends, were planning on kind of going to the same couple of schools. And I was someone who didn't want to go out of state, but I also kind of wanted to get away from my home just a bit so I can kind of restart and kind of carve out this next journey and chapter of my life. And I was really kind of excited about that while still having a comfortable distance from home. My college was about 2.5 hours north from where I lived, but it was also a stage of life when a lot of my friends were going out for sports and doing things that maybe I had less of an interest in. And the one thing that kind of stayed the same over the course of my life, and it's kind of remained that way, is my interest in games. And I would say at this point in high school, when a lot of my friends were kind of just playing Halo 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, we get together for Rock Band nights and things like that, but they had no interest in playing games like Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth on Xbox 360. That was not really their cup of tea. And I knew I wanted to kind of further deepen my appreciation for games, have that outlet to talk to other people who had my level of interest in games. And there really wasn't anyone around me. There were no clubs in my school that were video game centric. We kind of had more just like Magic the Gathering type things. And so I wanted to find that outlet. And it was also a time where I had just recently repurchased a Nintendo DS on eBay. I got like a little lot of games and I was looking for DS game recommendations. This was also a couple years after I had regrettably sold my N64 game collection, and I was looking to find another N64, begin to rebuild and reestablish that game collection. So it was at a time where I wanted an outlet to talk about games. I also wanted to find gaming recommendations specifically on the N64 and Nintendo DS. And one of the most fascinating things about YouTube back in this era, whether it was games or some other hobby that you might have had, if you searched for a particular thing, there was only a handful of videos that would come up because it was the very early stages of YouTube. I mean, you think 2010, someone can fact check me, but like this is a year after like the first iPhone came out. The first iPhone, right? So smartphones are just kind of coming onto the scene, right? Like this is a completely different era when it comes to the amount of information that was immediately at our fingertips when it came to games, or really any other topic for that matter. And so naturally, I opened up my $200 HP laptop and searched on YouTube for Nintendo DS game collection and Nintendo 64 game collection. And I mean it when I say, at this time in the YouTube era, and specifically in the old school YouTube gaming community, when you searched for a video about a particular game, console, whatever it is, sometimes no videos showed up and sometimes it was just a handful. And when I searched for DS and N64, there were two channels specifically that I remember seeing like it was yesterday. The first was Finn Gamer, and he is naturally based out of Finland, massive N64 game collection, just a massive game collection in general. Really cool, almost like ASMR voice. I always kind of joked with him, although he probably was not appreciative of it, that he kind of sounded like Dracula. And he would always start his videos like, "Hey gamers," and then he would just talk about whatever he was talking about. Saw his videos, was getting all kinds of fun N64 game recommendations and just learning more about the console variants and all of those types of things. And then old school game community people, when you mentioned the Nintendo DS, there were a couple of people that came to mind. And the person that I found and discovered back in 2010 was Craig, TV and Lust. And so I immediately subscribed to his channel and watched his videos and really was just taking a liking to these people and their thoughts, how they covered games and how they talked about games. And it wasn't some elaborate, like, quick hit, just throwing gameplay footage at you and splicing all these quick edits together. It was like you're seeing right now. It was a person in front of a camera holding up game cases and just talking about their love of video games. And at this time, I'm this 17-year-old kid getting ready to go to college, kind of just thinking about, like, I'm looking for an outlet to talk about games. These people are not too much older than I was at the time. If they can do it, maybe so can I. And so I, at the time, had a job at a local kind of grocery chain. It's all across the Midwest here, Kroger. Many people have heard of it. I had a job there, and just down the street was a play-in trade that naturally I blew like most of my paycheck week to week, just picking up games. And there was someone who worked there that it's actually kind of because of him that I started to kind of fall in love and learn more about Final Fantasy. He would kind of push me over the edge to play Final Fantasy IX one summer, and that just kind of changed my life naturally. And he also, as soon as Final Fantasy 13 came out, said, "You gotta play this," and that ended up becoming the first Final Fantasy game that I played to completion, and now one of my favorite games of all time. And so he and I would always go and talk games, and one day I pre-ordered Dragon Ball Origins 2. But the reason why I pre-ordered it is because I found another person on YouTube when searching for Nintendo DS game recommendations, and that was Steph's 2Def. Many of you are probably familiar with her channel nowadays. She's still putting out videos, an amazing person, a great YouTube channel, just awesome. Steph is the best. And so I saw her review of Dragon Ball Origins 1 on the DS, and I thought, this looks like an amazing game, great use of the stylus in both screens. I'm going to pre-order Dragon Ball Origins 2. I bought it, and that day I went home and thought, no better time to start a YouTube channel than right now. So I recorded my Dragon Ball Origins 2 unboxing, which was supremely embarrassing when you go back and look at it now. But I am not someone who, I say embarrassing kind of loosely, because I look back at that and I think, wow, look how far I've come. Look how much more life experience I have. And look how much more confident I am in my own skin than I was back in 2010, 15 years ago. And I'd go on to obviously make 200 plus more videos, but I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So saw Steph's 2Def. She's a channel like Finn Gamer and TV and Lust that kind of inspired me to start a channel of my own. There were two others that I subscribed to not too long after that, and we'll actually be pulling up here in a little bit. I will be showing kind of the history of who I subscribed to and when. There's a great feature kind of on Google accounts that you can actually see. All of that history is captured. We'll be looking at that shortly. But when I look back on YouTube in my journey, there were 5 channels that really kind of inspired me and pushed me over the edge to create videos. The first of which, Finn Gamer and TV and Lust. Shortly after that, Steph's Too Deaf, I can't talk. And then eventually it was Pete Dorr and Happy Console Gamer, Johnny Millennium. Those 5 people I can look at and say truly inspired me to get behind a camera, open up my $200 HP laptop and record videos in 240p, 360p, whatever it was back then, and just hold up game cases and talk about games. So why did I ultimately create my YouTube channel? I kind of already hinted and shared the first reason. It was to have that outlet to engage and connect with other people that love video games. And like I said, my friends, they were losing interest. It was kind of Call of Duty, Rock Band, Halo, Guitar Hero, which were all great games. But I wanted to learn more about obscure DS recommendations. I wanted to, even if I had no interest in picking up and buying a console like the Sega Saturn and the Dreamcast, I wanted to learn about games on that system and hear other people's experience playing those games. And I wasn't going to find that in my inner circles, but I was going to discover that on YouTube and have an outlet of my own to share my own thoughts and capture my own opinions, and over time see my evolution as a gamer, but more than that, as a person. Right? 15 years, a lot has happened, as I said at the top of the video, and I wanted to be able to capture that on YouTube as kind of my own personal diary virtually of the things that have happened in my life and how my gaming tastes have changed over those 15 years. And the second is I was at a major turning point in my life. I was getting ready to go to college, and one of the things that I've struggled with for the great majority of my life is just confidence in my own voice, in my own skin. And going to college, I wanted to turn a corner. I wanted to change that. I wanted to grow. I wanted to feel confident enough to go to a job fair and secure a internship my freshman year, which I ended up doing. I wanted to go out for a professional business fraternity and have the confidence to do that, which I did. And I wanted to just be able to engage with people on campus in a way that I normally wouldn't do, right? And because I really was trying to get away from my home a little bit and not necessarily run away from my friends growing up, but kind of start new and hit the reset button and be comfortable doing that. And I genuinely believe that if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't have had the confidence to do a lot of those things. Maybe down the road I would have with more life experience, but if it wasn't for YouTube and having dozens of videos, hundreds of hours behind the camera, and just by myself holding up game cases and just talking about games, I don't think I would have had the confidence to do a lot of the things that I did. And so YouTube really was that opportunity for me to grow my confidence, better my public speaking skills, and prepare me for college, my career, and in so many other aspects and facets of my life. And so those are really the 2 reasons why I started my channel. And I genuinely never anticipated that I was going to make videos when I created my account. When I was watching Craig's videos, Finn Gamer, Steph, Pete Dorr, Happy Console Gamer, I just wanted to have an account to be able to comment, right? So back then, I wasn't thinking about some super creative name to have that would be kind of like cement me as some memorable YouTuber. And so Ari Lewis was just my initials and name. And 2011 was just the year I was going to graduate high school. So I just thought, Ari Lewis 2011, this is some placeholder thing so I can comment on it on videos and ask people questions on YouTube. That was it, right? And we kind of rebranded a little bit, Re-Louie. We kind of maintained some semblance of that old school name while kind of a play on the Banjo-Kazooie game and characters. So I've never been too creative in that sense, but yeah, if I could do it all over again, we'd probably have a different name, but it kind of is what it is, and is certainly kind of a product of its era for sure. But next I want to pull up my YouTube channel and kind of walk through some of my videos, not necessarily watching them, but just kind of talk through my rationale for certain video topics and things like that. And then I also want to walk through my subscription history so you can see the actual dates that I subscribe to these people to kind of I guess substantiate what I was saying earlier, that these were some of the first people that I ever subscribed to that really inspired me to create videos of my own. And hopefully, since a lot of these people don't make videos anymore, folks that have been around for 15 plus years will kind of reminisce of the old school gaming community that was. All right, so we are on the homepage now of my channel, and I filtered for oldest, and we're just gonna kind of comb through my videos and maybe provide some insight into why I recorded certain videos, and of course, poke some fun at my older self as well. It should be quite a bit of fun. So, as I was saying at the top, my Dragon Ball Origins 2 unboxing, and I think I had some random Dragon Ball Z song playing in the background, so I'm surprised it hasn't gotten a copyright strike to this point. I was wearing like my old track and field t-shirt. Again, I had no real intentions at this point in like, yes, I'm going to become a YouTuber. I think this is going to be something I'll do for certainly for 15 years, but really any reasonable length of time. It was just, let me just put a video out there and just see what happens. And back then, and we'll kind of talk through how different YouTube is in general, but certainly like the gaming community specifically from back then to now. Back then, you could put out a video and it was so easily discoverable. And I have videos that maybe have 300 views and well over 50 comments. And I might have a video now that has 3,000 views and 2 comments. I just don't feel like engagement, it means something much different nowadays. Engagement now is clicks, 3 green check marks, viewer retention, ad revenue, perfect thumbnail. It's become more, YouTube has become more Instagram than anything else, right? It's the perfect caption, the perfect title. You have to angle the thumbnail in a certain way. You get into the algorithm and you're successful, and you get the dopamine hit, and if you don't, it's depressing and you second guess everything. YouTube is just a completely different beast. But back then, it was so easy to put a video out and genuinely, on a non-superficial level, connect with people. And that's what I miss about YouTube. I still enjoy it. There's still plenty of communities that you can connect with and talk to people. They have Discord and things like that now, which is great. But I can't emphasize enough just how different YouTube feels nowadays in comparison to back then. I'll just say that. So, yeah, we'll continue to kind of clip along here. And so I think in this video, I was like, hey guys, like I'm going to record a review here in a couple weeks. And so naturally I just put a tripod up and just played the opening level on my DS while kind of like fumbling over my words, talking about the game as I was playing it. Because back then, if there were, I had no idea about them, but there really wasn't much in the way of capture cards. When people were recording gameplay footage at this time, like 2008 to 2010, they were just putting like either their laptop in front of their TV or some like old Canon camera to capture some footage of the game that they were playing. You miss it. And you also miss the days of no thumbnails, right? Just YouTube would give you some random capture during over the course of the video that you would just like, yep, looks good enough for me. And I mean, look at some of these random, just while I'm in the midst of speaking, you love to see it. This is my the bedroom in my dad's house. You can see, actually, this is a separate room. This is my actual bedroom, which I was just littered with band posters. You can see Bon Jovi, Kurt Cobain. The other side of the wall, I have a Nirvana, a Queen, AC/DC posters. I was all about it. But this is when things became a little shocking for me, and I got like my 10 seconds of fame on YouTube. It was when I purchased the DSi XL Midnight Blue Nintendo DS. Like, I bought it the day it came out. I pre-ordered it. I came home, I unboxed it, filmed it, put it up on YouTube. And as you can see, I think this is to this day my most viewed video, nearly 80,000 views, which is just crazy. I think it still gets a significant number of clicks nowadays because unboxings were huge back then, whether it was premium edition consoles or special edition games. whatever it was, if you could get in day one, record an unboxing, you were typically going to get a lot of clicks. And then naturally did a lot of pickups videos, even have, look at this, 100 subscribers shout out. You love to see it. This is another one that got quite a bit of clicks. I remember buying a number of DS games from eBay. I got New Super Mario Bros. DS and Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. And I remember them being weirdly cheap. Like they were $15, like $14.99. And I wasn't smart enough to know that they were like shipping out of Hong Kong or something like that. And they took weeks to arrive. And then when they did, the box art looked like someone had just like printed it out at like Staples. And the game carts looked kind of funky. And to make a long story short, I found out that they were fake. And I was really kind of ticked off about the whole thing. And so I did this like fake games from eBay video, which also kind of took off, which was shocking. But yeah, you love to see it. At any rate, my first room tour video, let's just actually click into this real quick. And as you can see, my viewership history is just Nintendo music, Pete Dorr, and stuff about the Steelers. So you all, and some platinum trophies. Just so you know that I'm actually signed into my YouTube account in case you thought I was like, doubling and trying to pretend I'm someone else. Look at this. My SAT coach. This is how you know I was someone that was 17 years old, getting ready to go to college. There's something else kind of funny here too. This is just the best kind of thing right here. So once I go up from whatever this darkness is here, look at that. CRT TV. My Xbox 360 dashboard, playing Assassin's Creed 2. Some things, people, never change, okay? Even back then, I was getting down with some Assassin's Creed. You love to see it. Showing some Nirvana CDs. This is hilarious. In 15 years, I swear I'm the same person. But, yeah, it's funny to kind of, like, go back and look at some of these older videos. Especially my game room tour, which is just kind of me going out around my bedroom. Right here, you can't see it because what is this? 240p. I collected movie tickets back then, and I mean, I collected them for years. So you can see Harry Potter and whatever that is, the Order of the Phoenix maybe, among many others. So that was kind of cool. I don't do that anymore because I don't even think you can get physical tickets when you go to the movies. Also kind of neat, my buddy Calvin, my old little teacup Yorkie, he unfortunately has passed on. When I went to college, I left him with my dad. And then more recently, I bought my dad a beagle and we named him Hobbs because we named Calvin after Calvin and Hobbes. And so naturally, when we got a little beagle, we had to name him Hobbs. So Calvin, it's cool to see him captured. He's in a number of my videos back then. So that's kind of neat. But we'll dip back out and we'll refilter on oldest, kind of keep clipping through here. I probably won't go through many more of my other videos, but you can see lots of unboxings, lots of pickups videos. This video here, mid-December pickups 2010, is shortly after I'd come home from Half Price Books, where I got Pokemon Gold and Silver version, complete in the box, and Pokemon Pinball for like $5 to $10 a piece. I can't remember how much they were. I say it in the video, but yeah, they were about 10 bucks a piece. So crazy stuff there. And over time, you can see I learn a little bit. The lighting gets a little bit better in my videos, but they're still all in 240p. Things change a little bit when I get this 13-inch MacBook. This is kind of in preparation for college, and I ended up using that to record. So we maybe upgraded from 240p to 720p. This is kind of fun, the 3DS price drop unboxing. So just when the price drop of the 3DS was announced, remember it was originally at $250, and then it dropped to, I think, $179.99. The day that was announced, I rushed to Walmart and said, hey, like, this price drop was announced. Can I get that deal? And I had to get the supervisor involved. I was able to convince them. I showed them the Nintendo announcement. They honored the price drop. I went home, unboxed the system, and was able to redeem and become a part of that ambassador program. So on my 3DS to this day, I have those 10 NES games and those 10 GBA games. So kind of beat the system a little bit there. And I probably shouldn't be vocalizing that. Nintendo might strike down my my channel. Or now that they're doing things with the Switch 2, they might just brick my console. That might be something that they do nowadays. But look at this. This is now me in my freshman in college dorm room, where I ended up recording a number of videos. And then when I came back for breaks, still recorded a lot of videos. This right here, Game Room Tour College Edition. Even did a little tour of my my dorm room back then, which was pretty neat. And then if you skip down here, you can see I was on a internship my second semester of college. I believe my freshman year, I was able to secure an internship. And so I recorded a number of videos then. This video did really well for me. Classic VHS Disney movie collection, just kind of holding up all of my VHS Disney tapes, which I still have. And a number of people, this is also kind of where I'll interject something that's different about today's era of YouTube versus back then. You know, today you have a lot of collaboration videos, people come together and you'll have 5 to 10 people on one video talking about a particular topic. Back then, you did video response videos. So I remember my classic VHS Disney movie collection people did video responses for, and I can't remember how it worked on YouTube, but I think you could basically go click on a video, and underneath that, there was like a hyperlink, a button where you could say video response and almost kind of like map your video or link it underneath it so that like whenever you came to my video, you could see other people who did video responses. Now it'll kind of just recommend like, hey, similar videos. But then you were making like an actual choice to directly link your video and do a response to someone else. And that just kind of like builds upon that idea of it felt like a genuine community that was just engaging and connecting with one another and having an ongoing discussion about a particular topic, which was so fun. And I really wish that that feature still existed on YouTube, but it is long since gone, unfortunately. And then kind of fast forwarding a little bit further down, you can see 10 years ago, and then 7 years ago. So there was a significant gap, not only on YouTube where I wasn't really making videos, but I wasn't even playing games a whole lot because after college, I had a 1-year master's program and then I started studying for the CPA exam. So I was very busy, had very little time for games. And at this time, my wife and I, then fiance, were preparing for our wedding. So there was just a big gap where gaming was not really a big part of my life. But then as you can see, I try to kind of make a return to YouTube, and Lauren, my wife, I brought her on for a couple of videos. And it was at that time that I just quickly recognized YouTube is not what it once was. And I just really didn't like that. I just didn't feel like community was at the center. This is kind of that turning point, or maybe the beginning of it, where it felt more like a social media platform, and that just wasn't something I wanted to engage with at that particular time in my life. So I started a gaming podcast with my brother-in-law, and we'd go on to record 160 plus episodes over the course of the past 7 years or so. Had a really good time with that. We've kind of been off and on, kind of on an indefinite hiatus, but we still kind of get behind the mics every once in a while. And then here you can see the second apartment that my wife and I lived in before buying our house. And it was around this time when the pandemic happened and everyone was looking for an outlet, a way to stay engaged, connect with people. And so not only was I doing the podcast on a weekly basis, not only was I playing a ton of video games, but I started streaming on Twitch, which was a lot of fun. And, you know, we'll get into here as we transition here shortly to where my channel is going forward. But I really do think streaming in some capacity is in my near future. I just really miss that engagement aspect, talking to people in real time. I miss it a lot. So I think streaming is definitely gonna come back in some capacity for me going forward. But then you kind of get into this new era of YouTube for me, where I've, over the past 2 years or so, was kind of like hit or miss, uploading videos here or there. And then I would say in the past 18 months or so, I've really enjoyed on a regular basis recording videos, talking about an assortment of different things, whether it's PlayStation trophies, still doing regular pickups videos, or just kind of one-off topics like this one here, in defense of replaying your favorite games, maybe an annual backlog check-in video, most anticipated games kind of coming into the new year, always doing that end of the year reflection, best games of that current year. And yeah, just here, my most recent video, my PS5 collection video as well. So let's dip back out and have a little bit of a discussion about where the channel is going. And I think I'm just going to tab over to the homepage. Actually, this would be a good way for me to talk through video ideas you can expect down the road. Of course, we'll be doing more games I bought recently, regular check-in of games I've purchased over the past couple of months. That's always a good opportunity for me to talk through the games that I've been playing recently. Game collection videos, if folks like those, I recently just put out today my PS5 collection video. So if you want me to pull my games off the shelf for an entire game console, kind of talk through that, it's a great chance for me to recommend games. Going to continue to do things like that. Now, one idea I've had for a while that you can see I've kind of begun to organize this for Game of the Year videos. What I'd really like to do as we continue to go forward year over year, I'll always do that end of year check-in and share my top 10 games of the year. But what I also want to do over the course of the year is have maybe 2 to 3 videos continuing to go backwards, right? So we have 2021. I want to basically record a video sharing my top 10 games of 2020, 2019, 18, 17, dating back probably to at least the year 2000, but maybe even the late to mid 90s when I kind of started to actually play games. And the idea behind that is once I've had a chance to do that, and this is like a multi-year project, I want to have that as like my foundational list and end up making my top 10 or top 50 video games of all time. So I'll have, 25 odd game of the year videos, and that will give me a solid list and foundation to kind of chip away at and create my top 50 games of all time. I think that'd be a lot of fun, and it would give folks a real chance to see not just my favorite games in a particular year, but over the course of my life, what are those standout favorite games for me? So that's a big kind of project and idea I've had for a while, but I haven't yet started that kind of going backwards idea where I need to go, again, create the top 2020, 2019. We'll kind of start that project. Down here, we have other top games and movies lists. So this is my opportunity to do like top 25 PlayStation 4 games, top 25 PS5 games, and also, like I've done more recently, ranking every Star Wars game. So more videos like that coming down the road that I'm pretty excited about. Other random topics like any backlog related videos. When the Nintendo Switch 2 was announced, I kind of did a video talking about that, my game room tour. Those types of rambling videos will continue. I'll probably continue to do maybe 1 to 2 trophy videos a year, checking in at the end of the year, how did I do, and then kind of a going into the next year, what are the platinum trophies that I'm seeking. Those videos have done surprisingly very well for me. But it's not something I'm as passionate about as I used to be. I still will continue those in some capacity. And yeah, like reviews, things like that. But the one thing I want to kind of end on is the idea of returning to streaming. If I do, it'll probably be on YouTube, so I don't have to save down the VOD. I like and prefer those streams to kind of be archived here on YouTube. This is my main platform. This is my main outlet nowadays, and I just don't feel like for me personally, I can stretch myself too thin with doing too many other things, other avenues where I have this outlet, just because life is busy, I have more responsibilities, which is all great and good, but I can't also do too many other gaming related things nowadays. But I do miss streaming. It's such an amazing way to connect with other people, and I miss it. I really, really do. So streaming will probably consist of Not any regular schedule, but probably just chat videos, maybe doing live pickups, and then every once in a while, if there's a particular game that I can beat and play and finish in one or just a few streams, that'll probably be something that I do going forward as well. But with all that being said, let's shift gears and let's kind of walk and talk through my subscription history, dating back to the very first person I subscribed to. We won't go through the entire history, but I think this will be a fun walk down memory lane for old school gaming community people that might recognize some of these names, even if they might not record videos any longer. All right, so here we are taking a look at everyone that I've subscribed to over the years. We're not going to go through all of this in its entirety, but I think it'll be fun to just kind of capture some of those early folks that I subscribed to, and in many cases, those people inspired me to create a channel of my own. And like I said at the top of the video, I didn't lie. June 12th, about 10 to 12 days before I released my own first video, I subscribed to FinGamer, TV and Lust, and a day after I released my first video, Steph's Too Deaf. On June 26th, the 25th was when I released my first video. So these three people I subscribed to 15 years ago. I mean, it's just shocking to me that one, that much time has passed, and two, just that I'm able to kind of capture these timestamps of when I subscribed to these people. But we'll keep moving along here. Does anyone remember Holly, Dog in My Lens? Such an amazing person, and had so many fun discussions with her over the years as well. Big fan of the Nintendo DS, and she actually was a part of a podcast called Operation Killscreen with Tim Jumble Junkie and Sinister Moon. That probably brings back some crazy memories for folks, and other people are probably looking at me like, what the heck are you talking about? But if you can find the episodes, Operation Killscreen, a great podcast back in the heyday when the All-Gen Gamers were going strong, and the All-Gen Gamers were kind of the first domino for a lot of other, just kind of a flood of other gaming podcasts that kind of came after that. Henjo555, someone that I connected with, was kind of around my age, big fan of Nintendo, actually has kind of recently come back and is doing a lot of vlog style videos. So good to see him back. Dinky Dana, fellow Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I think native to Pittsburgh. Awesome guy. Recently, I think he's kind of been doing a lot of streaming. Huge fan of Dark Souls, but an amazing game room. Just had a really distinct voice, and I always enjoyed Dinky Dana's videos. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Pete Dorr. And my goodness, just one of the best YouTube gaming community people ever. And one of the things I respect and appreciate about Pete most is that he never changed his style. He never changed his attitude or his approach to making videos. It's the Pete you see 15 years ago and the Pete you see today is more or less the same in terms of how he approaches game collecting, the types of games that he plays, and he's just never shied away from being unapologetically himself. And that's something that's really stood out to me about Pete. It's inspired me to do the same. And yeah, Pete is just a legend in the gaming community and someone that I've had the great fortune of being able to talk to on my gaming podcast a couple of times, and certainly in his Twitch streams as well. So love Pete, he's the best. What's wrong with this guy? I believe this is Ballin' Nick 1983 or something like that, if you remember him. Loved his channel as well. Huge fan of RPGs. Very knowledgeable about like the Sega Saturn, Dreamcast, things like that. Always a fun channel to tune into. Very close friend of mine. Was known back then as Storm Cloud Reigns, now Stormy. I believe she streams nowadays. I don't think she records videos so much anymore. But a very dear friend of mine. It was like her, if you remember someone named Ben Saturn, Fran Hughes, Steph's Too Deaf. I remember years and years and years ago, we got into something called Tiny Chat. It was essentially like a Skype room where you could kind of do video chats with friends. And I think I was actually looking at it the other night trying to find, does Tiny Chat still exist? I think it's been shut down for like over 10 years, but back then it was like a cool virtual chat room to be able to talk to friends, similar to Skype. But yeah, I remember her, Steph, and others. We would just get in, talk about games, good times for sure. Tiger Fiction, she was a good friend. I remember watching her Final Fantasy XII review. That's just something that sticks in the back of my brain. Darrow, good friend of mine, lives in Ireland. We still stay connected and talk seldomly on Twitter about games. Charlie, back then known as Jurassic, great YouTuber, lived in Australia, big fan of RPGs, Monster Hunter, always was fun to listen to and watch her videos. Huge fan of Pokemon as well, as I recall. The man, the myth, also a legend in the YouTube gaming space. Happy Console Gamer, subscribed to him in August of 2010. Surprised it actually took me that long to subscribe to his channel. Jimmy from Lots of Games, really enjoyed his Super Cheap Games video series where he would just show like cheap Xbox 360, PS3, Wii games. He would just show like a fat stack of games and say, hey, you can go to GameStop now and get these games for like 10 bucks or less used. So great channel. Ed, Splatter Trigger, huge fan of really obscure games like the Working Design games, Xseed, just a big fan of RPGs in general. Ed was always really fun to tune into his channel. Good friend of mine, he and I actually went game shopping one time. Ben, CC10 Gaming, might see a clip from his videos later in the video. Lou, Corrupt Killer, Comeback Kid, someone I still talk to a little bit regularly, and like Pete Doors Twitch streams and in my Discord and stuff like that. RPG Gibberish, a gaming podcast that was hosted by Aerodynamish, and RPG Swagman. If you remember him, he was on the All Gen Gamers podcast. Gosh, it's crazy looking at some of these names. Movie Star Kitten, her name was Sarah. She actually lived not too far from where I went to school. We found kind of that connection back then. Metal Jesus Rocks. Subscribed to him back in 2011 when he was probably just starting his Hidden Gems series of videos, really just kind of finding his footing on YouTube and kind of breaking into the scene. This is probably maybe just before he became a co-host of the All Gen Gamers podcast. Now I think he might be approaching 1 million subscribers on YouTube. It's crazy to see how much his channel's blown up. 8-Bit Theater, Corn Muffin, big fan of RPGs, used to live in Japan, always a fun channel to watch back then. Nostalgic Dan, this is your public announcement, right? You gotta come back to YouTube. We miss you. We miss the beanie. We miss your chill ASMR voice. Come back and talk about RPGs. We want to hear from you. The Easter Egg Hunter, my friend Alex, returned to Mother Base. We're subscribed to him 13 years ago. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Dustin Christ, good friend of mine. Quick Freeze 4. NES Complex, another favorite channel of mine. Stevo Supremo, or as he was once known as, the Laggy Gamer. Zach Archer, my buddy, who now has his Tarkaron YouTube channel that he does with my other good friend, Alec. Another gaming podcast. I was a guest on that podcast way back when. Good friend Jenny. Games of War. Just amazing to see all of these different channels. Femtrooper, subscribed to her 12 years ago. 12 years ago. The Cartridge Brothers, Doom Waves, Ultimate Floyd, Devil May Pie, another friend and another person I wish would still be making videos, but I totally understand. Got other things going on, other priorities, but made some of the best Game of the Year videos at the end of the year. So fun to kind of go through and see all of these people. But yeah, we will kind of maybe cap it there. Mighty Q Dog, a great stopping place. Subscribed to him 10 years ago. Always fun watching the Q Dog kind of vlogs that he does with his wife. Okay, so we've talked about why I started a channel to begin with, the people that influenced me, the videos I have coming down the pipeline, when I subscribe to a lot of different people. Now I thought it would be fun to kind of end the video celebrating, at least to a certain extent, a lot of the people I've met along the way. It would be impossible for me to capture every single person, but I kind of saved down and captured some clips from a lot of videos from way back when. Hopefully it's a nice chance for other folks to kind of reminisce, maybe be nostalgic for that era. It certainly was a blast from the past for me to just go back and watch these videos and really think about how much YouTube and the gaming community has impacted me personally and the people I've met along the way. I mean it when I say I do this because I want to have that outlet. I want to have that virtual diary for myself to capture the games that I've played, how my collecting habits have evolved over the years, but more than anything, I want to connect with other people. I want to engage in a way that creates actual friendships and relationships with people that I might never meet in person, but I have the opportunity to learn from, learn about, and just chat games. And so this little montage is really just to highlight that, to celebrate that, and hopefully bring a smile to your face. It certainly did for me. So let's take a look.
Hello everyone and welcome back. My name's Dustin Kreis and today we are going to do a video response to R.E. Lewis. He just did a video on 90s television shows, and that video, I mean, that stuff is near and dear to my heart. So, of course I had to make a video response to that.
Good day and welcome back, DoomTubers. This is a video response to R.E. Lewis 2011's video, 2013 Backlog Challenge.
Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Steven the Lag Gamer, and this is going to be a response video to R.E. Lewis, his 2013 kind of backlog challenge he's doing. I know the moment he posted his video, I put a comment on there saying I'm going to join him in his fight and his challenge. Finally getting a chance to sit down and put up the games that I want to kind of more than likely not beat.
Hey guys, this is a video response to R.E. Lewis 2011. He did a video on a backlog challenge. He's basically, for 2013, he's going to try to get through as many games as possible, and he's kind of set it up like a challenge, and he hopes to, you know, finish all these games in 2013.
Hey everyone, this is your RBG Revant, and I'm back with another video. Yeah, my mom's camera is back now. She had it fixed, but I don't think it actually fixed the problem, so I don't know if she's going to send it back ever or not, but it wasn't really a problem for me to begin with. But anyway, this is going to be a video response to R.E. Lewis 2011, aka Rusty's video. He did his Pokemon video game collection, and I thought I'd do the same. I mean, it got most of the collections. I've got most of the collections here that you'd see most of these games in, but seeing them together is a different thing altogether.
Hey everybody, it's Coaster Crazy 10. Welcome back to another video. Today I'd like to do a sort of video response to my good friend Rusty, R.E. Lewis 2011's Top 5 Bands video. He did that and I thought that was a really cool idea. I think I've done something like this in the past, but I figured I would do it again. It's a good idea to, you know, talk about music and stuff, and you know, I feel like I can offer a little bit of a different take on this, because I mean, I do listen to different music than a lot of other people that I know, and from the videos that I've seen, I have pretty different tastes. So
hey everybody, it's FemTrooper, and today we're going to do my top 10 Disney movies of all time. We're going to do a list, and it's a video response to R.E. Lewis 2011. I really enjoyed his video on his top 10 Disney movies, and it really got me thinking, what are my favorite Disney movies of all time?
What's up YouTube, this is your girl Storm here, and I'm back for the second video of the day. And the reason why this video is getting done is because I just got a letter. I just got a letter. I just got a letter. I wonder who it's from. You guys remember that? Blue's Clues? Classic. I just got a package in the mail from, talking about the address on the account, it's from Rusty. His YouTube channel is R.E. Lewis 2011. Definitely check him out. Great guy, great channel. I mean, his collection is sick, and he just got the blue DSi XL, so anybody who has a DS is a dear friend of mine. So
Probably not. Okay, well, we'll move on then. And my phone is ringing. We'll hang up on them and move on
Damn, we gotta start over now.
Really? No. We'll keep that in there. We're also joined tonight by an amazing guest, R.E. Lewis, 2001 or 2011. I don't remember what the number is, but
I
Rusty.
don't even know what the number is. My name
What's
is
going on?
Rusty. Thanks for having me on, you guys.
Well, let's
Glad
get
to have you,
started.
man.
What are we going to talk about?
Well, I think Rusty needs to tell us about his channel.
Speaking of sick bastards, another co-host, Mr. Techno Squeak. How are you doing, man?
Oh my god. This podcast has gone downhill.
Oh, yes.
Well-
There's only one place to go from there, and that's more downhill. We do have a wonderful guest tonight. His name is Rusty, but a lot of people know him as Ray Lewis 2011 on YouTube. So thank you for joining us tonight, man.
Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, yes. And definitely clue the listeners in on what you do on YouTube and everything you cover on your videos.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Hey Listen Video Game Podcast. And today we are not joined by Cole, but we have some kind of replacement for him, even though he was like 50 minutes late, and that is Chronolink 9.
Yeah, what an asshole. Yeah, it's great to be here. Good to be a little guest host, I guess you could say.
We have a guest, and that's Rusty Lewis, also known as Ari Lewis 2011.
Hello, guys. How are you guys doing tonight? How's the food? I think that's what we need to know first. How's the food?
Okay, so I was late because I was getting food, because I haven't eaten anything today.
Welcome to Otaku Brothers, your friendly neighborhood gaming podcast featuring Rusty, R.E. Lewis 2011, and Ryan.
Hello everybody and welcome to the debut episode of Otaku Brothers. My name is Rusty and tonight I am with my forever co-host and brother-in-law, Ryan.
Hey.
Ryan, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. We are super excited to begin this journey with you guys. As many of you, or very few of you, may know, I had a YouTube channel back in the heyday of YouTube when the gaming community was alive and thriving, I would say.
Yeah.
I am so happy, and I am a little starstruck right now because the great Pete Dorr is joining us on the show tonight. Pete, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on, Rusty.
Yeah, you know,
and Ryan.
Yeah.
It's a lot to do, but you know what? We'll get to more of the dog situation here in a few minutes because we have a special guest today joining us.
Yes, we do.
All the way from down south, we have Josh. Some may know him on the interwebs as Frantic from the Frantic Thoughts podcast. Josh, how you doing?
I'm excellent, and I think I'm eternally exhausted, so that's just a given. But besides that, I'm good.
Is it
I'm
the
good.
southern weather? Or...
Yeah, is it the southern weather that gets you, or what is it?
Yeah, that combined with just a very incredible, like, increased workload because of all this craziness this year. But
I bet.
yeah, it's besides that, you know, just chilling right now, having a good time. Excited to be here.
Welcoming to the show for the very first time, Danny. How the heck are you doing?
Hey guys, how's it going? It's DMP or Devil May Pie. Friends can call me just Devil or Danny, casually as well. It's a privilege and honor to be on here. I'm new to the Otaku Brothers community, so I really appreciate Rusty reaching out to me to join the Discord and to be a part of the show. So I've been listening for the past maybe 10 or a dozen or so episodes now. So it's my usual rotation of podcasts now when I play my long games and JRPGs. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So I'm really thankful for you guys for having me.
Now,
Awesome.
I am presuming most people know who you are. Admittedly, you've been around since the glorious days of the YouTube gaming community, probably even longer. You were pretty much in diapers when you first started, and I wasn't as gray when I first started, and I was rocking a mullet most of the time.
What you have to do is cut the yellow wire when circuit 2 flashes. Huh.
Did we do it?
That bomb looks... Oh, that's a gold trophy, baby.
Save the
Come
world.
on.
Yes. Oh my word, it feels good to be alive. Oh, we got 2 gold.
Busted. Get out of here. Get out of here, dude. It's nothing.
Oh, that just feels good. Look at this. We're getting our badges.
We did it. We are so fist bump indeed.
I didn't do that, but my 30th last year, we had a bunch of friends over, and Lauren made custom koozies, two different styles. One was just like my face of like, oh, there it goes.
That was so good. That was amazing. Now it's like called cockeyed too.
That was
too good.
Extreme
Oh my
close
god,
up.
that was amazing. That was like the best thing I've ever seen.
Now it's gonna stay on it. Now it's gonna stay.
Yeah,
on
no,
the
this is
shot.
too much. We'll cut after the story, but you have a nice zoom in face of me now. But one of the koozies had like my face all over them. The other one was like a picture of me holding up an N64 controller when I was a kid.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, we're gonna take a momentary break while I fix my camera because
Wait, you
that
can't
was
ju-
ridiculous.
You can't just say back up. You can't be like.
I
back
can't.
up
I
off
just
me.
don't know. Like, I'm sure like I can like do some like weird like sign language.
The spell. You have to do the incantation, the spell, the Doctor Strange spell that you have to do.
Yeah, I don't know how this is supposed to work. So just let me unplug my camera and then it'll be right back here. All right.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that little montage. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I didn't really want to put any time restrictions on myself. I wanted to get all of my thoughts out about YouTube in general, how it's changed, the gaming community that used to be, and how things have evolved over the years to be something a little bit different, but still something I really enjoy channeling a lot of time and energy into, and something I'll be continuing to do hopefully for another 15 years. But as I said earlier in the video, this is also intended to be an announcement for a Q&A special, so leave me a comment down below if you have a question, or if you don't, that's fine. Just leave a comment and let me know, how did you first discover my channel, right? What do you love about the gaming community in general? I'd love to hear from you down below, but however you've been along for this ride, whether you've subscribed to the channel a month ago, a week ago, or 15 years ago, I appreciate your support. I really appreciate you tuning in, and I mean it when I say I genuinely enjoy connecting and engaging with all of you and continuing to talk about games. So hopefully I'll continue to do it for another 15 years, and we'll be celebrating another 15-year anniversary down the road. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.